Hello and welcome to FPSKivotos. I'm your host Bridge, and let's get started. On today's episode, we're going to talk about everyone's favorite domestic terrorist from Trinity. And of course, that means we're talking about Azusa. Azusa is everyone's favorite gas mask wearing, Perero and friends enjoying makeup work club member. And she just so happens to be a double agent. When it comes to her firearm of choice, she uses the SIG M400, at least that's what it says on the wiki. In reality, it's just an AR-15. It really is just an AR-15 with certain mag pull parts, but we'll get into that when I start talking about the rifle. As always, we're going to talk about the similarities and differences, as well as her combat animations. With all that out of the way, I'm going to show you one of my favorite guns I've painted so far in this project. Here it is, Azusa's rifle of choice. This was an absolute blast to create. Mine here is a Palmetto State Armory AR-15. I bought the upper and lower separately, so I got it for about close to $350-ish. And I already had this Handguard from a different rifle way back when. Let's talk about the color. I think I did a fantastic job at matching hers. So the nice thing about this rifle in particular, and looking at all the different reference images for it, they've obviously recreated an airsoft version of this in real life, as I'll show in the picture right here. It's got both sides of it too, and it's been an absolute incredible reference picture to use while recreating mine. Let's talk about a detail from detail. We're going to start from the buttstock and move all the way up to the front. Right here with the stock, in the one that they made for the airsoft version, it's a little bit different than this Magpul CTR stock, but I think I did a really good job at trying to capture the colors really well, especially with the gold here and then the black on the adjustable piece on the stock right here. As you can also see, the buffer tube itself is painted gold. It makes moving the stock a little bit difficult because there's just like I think it's like 3 or 4 layers, maybe 2 layers of gold spray paint here. So it makes it a little bit hard to adjust. I have to have the stock in the farthest position or like in the middle position right here, so it's not that big of a deal. This little coupler right here for the buffer tube is also painted its black. Well, kept it its original black color. Moving forward right here to the charging handle, it is this nice glossy gray color. I think it turned out really nice. The gray contrast on the rifle overall is pretty nice. It's really hard to see in like her in-game photos for the rifle and stuff like that, but the real airsoft rifle makes getting the extra details that she has on her rifle a little bit easier overall. On the upper receiver right here, I don't know if you can see it all that well, probably on this side, this part here, little dove, kind of dovetail looking, I guess, indentation here is the gray color as well. And on the right side, this portion of the upper receiver is also gray, which was kind of a bitch to get taped off, but it worked out pretty good in my opinion. It's not exactly the right proportions, but I think it worked out. One of the most interesting things is this rear sight right here. This is a M16 carry handle sight with the back portion of it chopped off, and obviously the carry handle portion is gone. It is just some cheap like toy plastic one that I just cut down. This is because the one that she has on hers just doesn't look proper, I guess is the word I'm looking for it, but this is the closest thing I could get to it, and I think it looks really good. In the firing footage, I probably have a red dot on here that I'm using that has a weird riser on it as well. It's just doing it for fun. It probably doesn't work all that well, but you know, it's what I decided to put on it if I wasn't using these iron sights, because they're not exactly the best. This little gold like ring thing here is just something I glued onto there. It's not even, it's like a Call of Duty style gigantic rear aperture for the front sight. Like, yeah, I could just aim with the front sight, but I don't know, we'll see in the firing footage. Moving down just a little bit, we have the A2 grip. It's a little bit different here compared to hers. Has a little bit of a dovetail right here. It'll have a little bit extra gripping area, but I just decided to use the standard A2 because it has the little nub right here for the finger grooves and stuff like that, so I think it matched a little bit better for the overall aesthetic. Right here with the trigger and the trigger guard, we have the nice gold color right here. I think I separated that really well with the lines and stuff like that to keep this portion as close as possible to the airsoft variant. As you can see right here, we actually have the decal that she has on the rifle. I think it turned out really good. I had a buddy of mine help me recreate this so I can get it printed out, and I think it just really sells the rifle. The stickers and the decals really do the majority of the work to get the aesthetic properly right, with, you know, the right words and right designs and everything like that to make the rifle look and feel like the in-game counterparts. Interestingly enough, right here for the mag well, this is the magazine. It's just a standard M16 aluminum mag as well that she uses. We have a little bit on the flaring here. I just kept that the black color. It actually looks really good for all the contrast and stuff like that. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. The ejection port is just standard white color. It's a little bit painted on this side since I had it closed when I was painting it, but it doesn't look that bad, so I'll keep that as is. And as you can also see, a bunch of the pins. So we have the upper receiver pins as well as the selector switch, and both of the trigger pins right here are all also painted gold. Kind of a bitch to get painted right and put back into place, but I think they turned out really nice for the overall aesthetic. And then on this side we have the selector switch, which is this nice white color, as well as the bolt hold open being this white color. On the airsoft version, they have two nice details right here with the gray color in here and here, so I matched that as best I can, as well as the mag release here. It's that nice gray color. And then on this side we have it on a nice white color to match as best as it can. Moving up, we have the Handguard ring, which is the nice gold color as well. I forgot how absolutely annoying it is to take off AR-15 handguards. These are an absolute, especially without tools. I do this all toolless. Absolute bitch to take these off, but it took a lot of trial and error, and it took me literally putting the rifle down, taking a break for 15 minutes, and the very first time I tried to reattempt to take off, I believe it was the upper half, I got it off. I was a little mad, but you know, it worked out well enough, so I'll take that. And then putting it on is a little bit easier than it is taking it off, and man, I'm so glad I don't have to do it again. So this one right here is a BCM handguard. It doesn't exactly match the one that she uses, but I think it was the closest one to get that general vibe. So the sides here were actually kind of stippled, and I sanded the absolute shit out of both sides of this to try to make it as smooth as possible so I could get the stickers and then right here the gold stripes on both sides of the rifle to look as good as they do. And I'm really happy with how the handguard turned out overall. One of the interesting things that the Azusa does with her rifle when she's shooting it is she does a C-clamp. So she holds the rifle like this as she's shooting. Some people hold it like this, some people hold it here. I think the C-clamp is a nice way to have a lot of extra stability, especially if you don't have like a hand stop of any type right here. I like holding it as a C-clamp, as you'll probably see in the firing footage as well. And obviously you cannot have Azusa's rifle without the classic phrase of Vanitas Vanitatum et Omnia Vanitas. I can't even pronounce it right anyway. I can't even speak Japanese right, so forgive me if I got that wrong, but these turned out fantastic. I'm really happy with the way it looks overall. It's not exactly lined up with how hers is in game and then on the airsoft version, but I just think it turned out fantastic, as well as having the Trinity logo right here. I'm just really happy that they turned out as good as they did, because like I said, with this decal as well, it really puts the rifle together. Up here on the front, obviously we have the M16 style front sight right here, as well as the barrel that transitions into a white color, the gold part here, and then the standard birdcage muzzle brake right here, staying its standard black color. And I'm just absolutely stoked with how this turned out. It's definitely up there as one of my favorite rifles I've done so far. Wakamo's is also really fun to do, and as well as Michiru shotgun are my three most favorite ones I've done thus far. And I hope to do more guns justice. And honestly, when it comes to differences, I think the only real difference is the stock isn't the exact same as well as the pistol grip. Everything else is, for the most part, 1-to-1, and then some, like, you know, sticker discrepancies with the size and stuff like that. But like, other than that, I think it turned out fantastic, and I really hope that really shines in the firing footage and stuff like that, as well as just looking at it here right now. I'm very, very proud of how this turned out overall, and if you want to recreate it, you can too. It's really easy. The only problem is if you don't really have tools to take off the handguard. It can be a little bit of annoyance to get it off, but with time and effort, you can get this off and get a new one to match hers as best you can. If you guys have been enjoying this episode so far, please make sure to fight your local law enforcement agency, and make sure to hit that like, comment, subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to know when I upload every single time. For legal purposes, don't actually do that for me, please. Do it within Blue Archive, specifically, or in Minecraft, one of the two, it doesn't matter. Just don't do it in real life. With all the similarities and differences out of the way, let's move on to the battle animations. As always, we're going to start with the reload animations. She has one for standing up, and one for crouching down. When it comes for the standing reload, she drops the mag on the ground, places a new one into the magazine well, and presses the bolt release on the left side of the gun. She does it very nice and swiftly to get back in the action as quickly as possible. As for her crouch reload, it's the exact same. She drops the magazine on the ground, grabs a new one, slams it home into the mag well, and presses the bolt release on the left side of the gun. Just like Sayori, she's one of the only other assault rifle using characters who actually shoots their rifle with semi-auto. My assumption is that she probably learned that when she was training with the satellite school. They didn't really have a lot of ammo to go around, I imagine, and so they were taught to specifically shoot in semi-auto rather than trying to go in full auto, just because they didn't really have much ammo to go around. We'll quickly go over her swimsuit card as well when it comes to her reloads. It's the exact same thing. Drops mag on the ground, places a new one in the magwell for both standing and crouch reloads, and then presses the bolt release button on the left side. When it comes to the EX skill for her original card, a bullet flies down from the heavens, she grabs it, her wings sprout, and she shoots a singular shot out to do massive amount of damage to a singular target. It's kind of like an explosive bullet, really. As for her swimsuit card, it's similar. But this time she has water around her and stuff like that, and it's a really cute animation. This one doesn't exactly do explosive damage, but it does do massive damage to one target as well as do a sort of like a chill debuff to them. Other than that, the only really interesting thing about the way her playstyle is on the field is that when she goes for a reload, I counted it actually for both of them, she only shoots 15 rounds and then she does a reload, which is really interesting. Obviously they don't exactly want to have them shoot all 30 rounds, maybe, I don't know. It's interesting to see though that she only specifically shoots 15 rounds and then does her reload animation. Maybe she just caps her mags at 15 for some reason, who knows? Maybe that's just how they were taught back in school, who knows? But with all that out of the way, let's move on to the conclusion. This episode was an absolute blast to make. This rifle just turned out so nice, especially just having a real life version of it to take reference of. This was just incredible. I've had this handguard for months and I was just like, when am I gonna actually pull the trigger and start making this one? And when I saw those deals for PSA's PA-15, I was like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna get these rock and rolling, and I'm really happy with how it just turned out overall. Like I mentioned in the video, it's my probably top 3 favorite guns I've made on the channel so far, and I'm really proud of myself with how it turned out. I really hope the passion that I put into this one really shows, and I really hope I inspired any of you. If you want to recreate your own Azusa's rifle, you can do that yourself by using my rifle as a reference, or you can use the pictures that I found online of the airsoft version so you can make your own as well, because it is an absolute blast. It's just an AR-15. An absolute blast to shoot. Who doesn't like shooting 5.56 really? But as always, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the lifeblood of this channel. Money continues to be harder and harder to come by. However, I did get a pay raise, so you know, getting money to actually pump more of these projects out is going up. So that is a plus for me overall. I've recorded a bunch of these in the last little while since I previously uploaded, so hopefully more and more stuff starts coming out so I can keep uploading more and more. At the time of this recording, I'm at like 743 subscribers, so thank you. As always, you guys are killing it. There's a few more months left in the year, so hopefully, you know, things start turning out well and we get to see what's going on with the next anniversary of Blue Archive as well. If you want a nice little timetable of what just got revealed for Blue Archive, we have a small roomie, so maybe Kisaki, fingers crossed, maybe? I mean, I wouldn't be able to get her gun anyway since it's a Chinese gun, but you know, that's where this is currently being filmed at right now. So who knows where I'm at in the next couple weeks or so whenever this comes out. But as always, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the best. You guys are the reason why I keep doing this, and obviously because I just really enjoy, you know, making guns. So please continue to support me on my journey of making as many Blue Archive guns as I possibly can. And with all that out of the way, I've been your host, Bridge, and I'll see you guys in the next one.